Hi everyone, welcome to part 2 of the game between Steinitz and Lasker in round 4 of St. Petersburg. White is actually up a pawn now, but the black pieces are very active. The queen's right near the king, the rook is on the 7th rank. And after knight f5, white suddenly has a few problems. Problem number 1, we're threatening knight takes g3. Problem number 2, we're threatening knight to e3. I'm going to ask a few little tactical questions here. First one, what should we do if white plays the move rook to f3? Pause your video, try to figure it out. Alright, so this is the only move that looks like it defends both threats. Unfortunately, it allows a new threat. Black can play the cool tactical move rook takes g2, king takes g2, knight takes h4. And when the king moves, we're going to take this rook and we'll be up a piece. So therefore, white realized he couldn't go rook f3 and just gave up and played the move knight e4. So now, pause your video again and tell me what black should do here. So this is a very impressive moment from Lasker. Clearly, it looks like the best move is knight to e3. We're simply forking the two rooks, and we're going to win the exchange. And yes, it's true. Black is probably winning here. However, after a move like rook d2, rook takes, queen takes, knight takes, bishop takes. Okay, black is probably winning. We have an exchange, but white has a pawn. Although this king is a bit weak, our bishop's pretty strong. I admit black will probably win. But who knows, it might take a while. We don't know for sure. Lasker is the one who had the saying, if you see a good move, look for a better one. That's one of his famous sayings, and he was very good at that. He played a better move here. He played the move bishop to e3. He doesn't care about the exchange. He wants the white king. And the thing is that next move, knight takes g3, is going to be unbelievably strong. In the game, white played rook to f3, and we already know what happens after that. This is what happened, and black won very shortly because he's up a piece. But there's actually no other defense. For example, if king to h2, do we see a good move for black? Simply, I'm just actually making sure I'm right about this because I see... sorry, I got a phone call, so... I maybe stopped in mid-sentence when I paused the video. After king h2, I thought I saw forced win, but now it's like not as obvious as I thought. Let me just make sure that I got this right. And I'm not feeding you bad information. For some reason I thought knight to g3 was winning. Oh, maybe knight h4. That looks pretty strong. Okay, that wins the game instantly. If pawn takes, queen g2. If queen takes bishop, rook takes g2. For some reason, I was looking at knight g3, and that's actually not super obvious after queen takes e3. Although that wins too to knight f1. Okay, this wins also. Everything wins. King h2 doesn't work. Knight g3 is coming, and let's say he just makes a random move. Knight g3 check. There's no way to stop queen takes g2 and queen takes h4. So it's very important not to just jump out of your chair to grab that material. With knight e3, always look for the opportunity to win the game even faster. Because, you know, after bishop e3, Lasker won almost immediately. Whereas he may have had to take 30, 40 moves to win that endgame. And who knows? Maybe white could have defended. Probably, I think he would have won anyway. But you always want to find the most accurate way to win, especially if you have time to burn on your clock. And especially when your opponent's king is really weak. That's a signal that sometimes it may not be the best idea to just go for the material. Sometimes you just gotta go after the king, and you know the king is worth more than the exchange. And especially if your opponent has a pawn already, winning the exchange it puts you up 1 point basically in the kind of material scale, because a pawn is worth 1 and an exchange up is worth 2. So it's just not that simple. This move, game over, that's it. Oh, by the way, another cool move we're threatening that I failed to mention. Let's say white goes, okay, never mind. My idea is ridiculous, but if knight to d6, of course knight g3 is mate in 2, but this is more cool. White would never play that move. Knight d6 is completely absurd. But it allows us to do a cool mate. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. A great game by Lasker. He played that d4 move early in the game, and then a nice job not being tempted by material at the end of the game. See you next time. Bye-bye.